keep up to date with our latest videos, please hit the button below. Hi there, good afternoon. This is a video from racingbetdata.com to demonstrate and speak about the phase 2 rollout that we've done around the profitability tables in the data dashboard relating to the place market. So these are the changes that we've made, and those of you that follow the videos and the updates that we give will be well aware that we've over the last couple of weeks we've added in these additional columns to the data dashboard. Now these columns mostly come from the pre-race download file. Things like up and trip, the RBD rating, the RBD rank, course and distance winner, those sorts of things. We've done a video on that, so if you haven't seen it, have a look through on our YouTube channel. Go and find that one because that was phase 1. Phase 1, the rollout was complete. Now phase 2 with the profitability tables. So the best thing to do rather than talking about it is to demonstrate it. So I'm going to go to our dashboard now to generate some output. Now I'm going to just generate yesterday's results rather than using the filter controls just to get some output. But speaking of the filter controls, that will make up phase 3, which is by far and away the most complex part of this 3-stage release. But phase 3 will be adding in additional filter controls, such as, we've spoken about it already, the RBD rating, the RBD rank, whether a horse is up in trip, whether it's a course and distance winner. So you'll be able to filter your output before selecting the submit or export to Excel button. So it's already filtered that way. Here's the output for yesterday. Now, like I said, those of you not yet familiar or haven't seen the video, anything to the right of this info column, which was the previous end column, are new features that we've added in. So we've promised not to interrupt the order of the columns. Anything new will be added to the right hand side, and that's the same for the export to Excel. It's in the same format. If there's any columns you want to exclude, you can go to the header menu and select customize columns, and you can untick and tick certain columns if you want them to display or not, and they are saved to your unique profile. And like I said, there is a video that we've already done on that, so I recommend, rather than going through that again, recommend to anybody who wants to understand how that works, look at our previous video, which was phase 1, around the dashboard additional columns that we've added in here. So just to highlight anybody, key of headings, if you're not sure what these relate to, there is a headings table that gives a bit more information around those. Anything in white can be clicked, which will sort. So if you click on the RBD ranking, it will sort low to high. Click it again, it will sort high to low. But what the purpose of this video is around the Betfair place SP, whether the horse placed, and the profit and the lay profit, which are these end 4 columns here. Now I'm going to take you down to the bottom of the data, and you will see here that this additional column has been added to the main profitability table, and there is an additional place odds table at the bottom here. Now it's all fairly self-explanatory, but again, we do have this little icon you can click to give you more information if you want. I'm going to take you through each one of these rows and explain what the detail is in here. So number of races, that's what's in the output, 47. The number of horses with odds. So this can differentiate between Betfair and the industry. So for instance, a couple of days ago, there was a race that Betfair failed to open the market on. So we had more horses in this column here. We had less in here. And then we also had a couple of races where there are only 2 horses. So there was no place market. So that might be why you get a difference between these two. And then a difference between the industry SP as well. Betfair markets not opening, for instance. Number of winners with odds, so there's 47, but in the place, so this column here, number that were placed, 133 in the Betfair place market. Now that place market will depend on the number of runners in the race, whether it's 2, 3, 4 or 5. There might even be a 6 offered on races such as the Grand National. But that's determined by Betfair, how many horses are paid into that place market, depending on the number of starters in the race. So if you were to have backed all of these 443 horses with a 10 unit level stake yesterday in the place market, you would have lost 426.81, which is a yield of minus 9.63. If, however, you had laid every one of those horses at the place SP for a 10 unit stake, you would have profited by 310.26 units, which is a yield of 0.89%. I'm going to send this to Excel in a minute to show you a bit more of what manipulation, what you can do. But very quickly, just to explain the favourites using Betfair place odds. Now, the favourites are based on the industry. So, okay, we're talking Betfair odds and Betfair placed odds, but we're using what the market industry favourite was, industry odds. So when you're watching racing TV or at the races or whatever channel, and they're referring to the favourite or the joint favourite, they're based on the industry, the trackside odds. So that is what we use to determine the favourite. For this purpose, favourites, joint, second and third, and another. In terms of the profitability, so this is a horse that was ranked the favourite using the Betfair place odds. So if you had backed every favourite in the place market, you would have lost 103.78 to a 10 unit stake. And you can see for second, which includes joints, thirds, and other. And then you've also got the data for the lay columns as well. Now I'm just going to oscillate back to the top and send this to Excel. Now this additional data has been rolled out to the date picker as well. So I'm just going to go back to the table here and show you. So if you go to the date picker, so if you want to select a certain date and time, and do that very quickly here before flicking back to the Excel. This has all been rolled out and working. So let's say we want to go back to 2018, just pick a random date, 20th of June 2018. We'll send that to screen rather than Excel, because that can flick with the Excel that we've already got open. So we'll get these results. We don't have, so the data here was populated from August 2021, but the Betfair place odds go back to 2009. So if we scroll to the bottom here, you will see these columns populated and these rows populated with the place data. That's obviously that race back in 2018. What we still have to do, it's worth saying, it is the head-to-head. So we need to add in an additional profitability column there, but as it's a separate piece of work, there's no point delaying the main dashboard, which is where most of the people will use their criteria and their outputs and derive them from. So back to the Excel. So this is yesterday's output. All the columns, as I've shown you, in order as per the screen. And you can then obviously do your additional analysis. So there's no filter controls on any of this. It's purely yesterday's output. But if you want to sort of look for, let's put in the SP favorite, and let's put in the RBD rank, and we can put in whether a horse was up in trip, and we can generate the place lay return. So you can see here that this should match what we had on screen. So laying every horse yesterday was a £310 or 310 unit return. But if we wanted to filter by favourites that were RBD ranked 1 and not up in trip, you can see that that would have generated a profit. So if that was your system, your strategy that you wanted to look at, you can now generate the output in both the place market and the main Betfair market, and you can add those both in there together and analyze that. Obviously clicking on that brings up the selection of the horses. You can see that and again manipulate and analyze further. Of course, we understand the main thing will be adding in these new features to the dashboard itself. I'm just going to switch back to that one quickly. So that's where the work's going to begin now. We'll get the head-to-head profitability, additional Betfair place data added in, and then we'll get to work on adding in these additional filters, filter controls and functions, and keep you updated as soon as that's ready for release. But we're hopeful that obviously with these additional columns, with the profitability outputs tables now updated on the main dashboard, you can see the progress we're making. Once those filter controls are in, the dashboard itself is going to be it's going to be so easy for people to use. Like I said, we're already getting people giving us feedback, commenting, sending us emails with their what they're doing and the angles they're looking at. Obviously don't want to disclose too much, but we can feel how grateful they are for what we've done so far, and we'll be making that even easier with the filters that we're going to be adding into there. So keep an eye out, keep your ears to the ground on that. We'll obviously make sure you're all aware through the socials. As soon as it's available, we'll do a video so we can explain it. Should be fairly easy, obviously, to use as is what we've got in existence, so it'll follow the same format, and we'll get to work on it straight away. So no more from me. That's the profit tables in there. We'll catch you later.